horsemen from the surrounding kingdoms. Jared is the best.
Maybe, maybe not. The contest is open to anyone of royal lineage in all of England. Perhaps the Prince Jared will meet his match after all.
Methinks she knows something we do not.
All right, cousin. Confess. Who is he?
Who is who?
This mystery man you're expecting to defeat Jared in the contest tomorrow.
I have nothing to say on that point.
Then there is someone. Gilda, do you know what this reminds me of?
Yes, I do. This is just like the time all those years ago that Sir Robin, while still an outlaw, showed up in disguise to compete against the best archers of the kingdom.
Oh, yes. I have heard it tell. It was so romantic when Sir Robin presented his trophy to Lady Man with Prince John sitting right beside her all the time.
Oh, yes. Lady Marian has said when his hand brushed hers, she knew they were meant to be together.
Aww.
'Tis true. I do recall hearing her speak of the first touch. She said it made her heart race and her skin tingle. I'd forgotten.
I would give anything to know that feeling.
How wonderful it must be.
Wonderful and somewhat frightening to feel such a bond with a stranger.
Cousin Robin, have you known this feeling?
Only once and briefly.
Once is a miracle enough. Tell us whose touch, my lady, caused your heart to race and your skin to tingle.
What nobleman is he?
Or prince.
No nobleman nor prince, but a serving man caused this feeling in me. I protested when he put his arms around me, but in reality I hoped he'd never let go. Now that I think on it, it must have been indigestion, for he is not a man I could love, but a rough and roguish scoundrel.
I've always liked scoundrels.
Cousin Robin, I'm not convinced you are struck with a sudden bout of indigestion, but I am compelled to ask under what circumstances a serving man had his arms around you.
Of course. Prince Jared's serving man Ambrose when he bested you and held you into her calms. I remember.
He did not best me.
Oh, to have your true love be a serving man. Let us hope it was but indigestion.
What is wrong with a serving man?
Nothing, except he can't marry a royal woman.
And there'd be no greater misfortune than to fall in love with someone you could not marry.
And likewise, a serving woman cannot wed a nobleman.
So if Robin were to fall in love with this serving man, Ambrose, she would have to live the rest of her life knowing the man who is meant for her can never be hers.
I know this feeling.
How so, Madeline?
When I laid eyes on bonny Prince Jared in the forest today, my heart was taken captive. But he is royal and I'm a commoner.
Did you suffer from indigestion too?
No doubt I would have had he but touched me.
How cruel are the fates that have doomed you and our dear cousin to bear out the rest of your lives in the shadow of unrequited love.
Stop this blubbering! You are behaving like a flock of silly, clucking hens. The better that a woman should never set eyes on a man, lest she be reduced to this.
Easily said, for one who's to be married tomorrow.
I only hope for your sake it was indigestion you suffered. Otherwise, I fear your marriage will know no happiness.
Especially if, heaven forbid, your true love is the servant of your husband.
If I am to be married,
But the contest for your hand is tomorrow.
and we shall see who wins.
Lady Robin, can we have a word with you, please?
Of course, little John. Go along to the royal seamstress. I'll be there by and by. What news, my friends?
By royal decree, all contestants in the games tomorrow must meet in the royal courtyard in 5 minutes to register their intentions.
Most are there now practicing.
Tell me, have you observed Prince Jared at the bow and the sword?
Some, you should have no trouble defeating him.
But all I hear is talk of his skill. Even his serving man nearly defeated me. Of course, he caught me by surprise.
Then his survey man must fence a far sight better than the prince himself.
Now come, we must make haste.
Wait, now I'm ready.